Hello, everyone out there and everyone that's joining us, whether that be live or watching the recording later. This is the Minorities in Cybersecurity Community Call. And we hold these calls once a month, at the third Friday of every month at this time, same channel. And so let's go ahead and get started. So our agenda for today, we have some announcements. We're going to have the intros by the speakers, then we're going to have a panel discussion. Any Q&A out there, you can raise your hand. Robin is monitoring that. You can ask the question on Facebook. We're monitoring that. You can you can join us in any way, shape, or form. You're more than welcome to ask a question. Leadership quote for today. I'm reading this book. You guys know that I'm always reading books, but Audre Lorde is the current book that I'm reading, and with tomorrow being Juneteenth, the Juneteenth celebration, I have my Black Lives Matter t-shirt on as well. But it says, when I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. And I know we have these conversations, or those that have had these conversations with me, in regards to just unapologetically being out there and doing as much as I can for minorities and women in this space is very, very, very important to me. And it is having that vision, that purpose, that passion makes you less afraid to take a stand and be out there. We still have our swag store going on right now. My daughter, who is sitting here, she loves the pink. So we had to make a pink one. So if you haven't ordered your swag, go out there to our store. You can get to it off of our website. You can get to it going to Bonfire and get your t-shirt today. Our current campaign ends on 5 days, and then the shirt should start shipping on July 1st. So looking forward to that. I have mine. I have a store here. I purchased a whole bunch of them. So all right, job updates. You guys have seen it. If you follow us on socials, I've been hitting up you guys up with the emails about the job postings that have come out just since our last community call. We had one from Sands and George Mason and Mass Mutual came out yesterday. So we have all of these jobs coming available to us. So I'm looking forward to this. And now, without further ado, I'm looking forward to talking to Best Buy. So this is what we call a member community showcase. This is where our corporate members come in and they talk to us about the jobs that they have available. They talk to us about the things that that will be coming. They talk about their organization, everything like that. Shiragi, did you have a question?
On Facebook, we can see your fully internet screen. You can see it's being presented.
Okay, all right. So are we back now with the right screen?
If you can hit present.
Hold on. See, that's what happens when you go live. Hold that thought. All right. We should be good. Are we good? No?
You can see your email. Yeah.
You can see my what?
Your email on Facebook.
Oh, we can. That's no good. They're seeing all my private information. Hold on. We're sharing the wrong screen. That's the problem. How are you seeing my email? My email shouldn't even be up. Let's see. Oh, no. Stop sharing. Look at that. That's what happens when technology doesn't go with what you want it to go with. Let me see. Oh, that should be right. Okay. Well, we're not sharing what we want to share. I thought I had this all worked out. See, then you're live and everybody's watching, and it's just not going right. But anyway, what we're going to do is at this particular point, what are you still seeing on Facebook, Shirag?
You can see, the Zoom screen. If you can, maximize it in
Okay. All right. I got you. Just like that? Okay. All right. Now we're back to it, guys. Sorry about the delay. We are, without further ado, we're going to turn this discussion over to our Best Buy colleagues. We have with us Adam Mishler, who is the CISO for Best Buy, and he has his blue shirt on today. That's an inside joke. And with him, I'll let him go ahead and introduce the folks that he brought with him today.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. My name is Adam Mishler. I'm the Chief Information Security Officer at Best Buy. I can give a little bit of background on myself, and then I'll have Trency and Heather do the same. So my background, I joined Best Buy actually as a consultant about 15 years ago, 16 years ago. Time flies. I don't feel that old, but I think it's been about 16 years since I joined Best Buy as a consultant. I subsequently joined full time. It'll be about 5.5 years now, and I've got 3 kids. You can see the artwork in the background. It's an ever-changing collage of art, so they keep it interesting. My background interesting, but yeah, I love Best Buy. I've been around for a long time. I've been CISO there for about 3 years, and feel very fortunate and blessed to have the role that I have and the team that I have. And we've got a really excellent team. We've got a couple folks here from the team joining us today. So, Trency, do you want to give an introduction today? Well, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. I'll give one today as opposed to tomorrow. My name's Renfield. I worked for Best Buy now just a little over 2 years. I'm pushing 3 years. I came on to Best Buy at the end of 2018 as officially started my career with Best Buy. Previously, I was a student worker with the state of Minnesota, but we don't count that. But it was a good experience. Moved over to Best Buy, started on the incident response team. Really enjoyed the work there. The folks that I've met have been great teachers and folks to look up to. I've gotten involved with some of our inclusion and diversity work at the company, and it's a large part of my time goes towards helping make Best Buy better in that way.
Thanks, Renfield. I'm Heather.
Sure. I'm Heather. I am one of the HR business partners that supports the team. I have been with Best Buy for 23 years. I haven't been in HR in a long time. I started in HR in about 2012, so I've gotten to support several teams, but I'm most recently supporting the team as of March, and it is an exciting time to be a part of Best Buy, and an even more exciting time to be a part of this team. Everything that's going on.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. So let me know if this isn't looking right. All right, and go full screen here. Okay, what are you guys seeing? Does it look right?
It looks good to me.
Perfect. Okay. So we already went through introductions, but here's our pictures. You guys can see us anyway, so we'll jump to the next. So what we wanted to talk to you guys about today, just give you a little bit of context around Best Buy in general, and a little bit of detail about our information security team and the roles and opportunities that we have on the team. So we'll jump into Best Buy and talk a little bit about facts and figures, talk about our purpose, history, and values, a little bit about our enterprise goals, and then talk about our community and inclusion and diversity initiative. Then we'll jump into our enterprise information protection team. That's what we call our in-house information security team. Excuse me. Talk about figures about the information security team, and then we'll talk a little bit about our priorities and goals and our security culture at Best Buy. Then, of course, we'll have any questions or discussion, so we'll have some time set aside for that as well. All right, so facts and figures about Best Buy. I know, and I think this is what Mary was laughing about with my blue shirt. I was just like, you know, we got to talk about Best Buy more holistically. Everybody thinks about the blue shirts, and you know, and so we wanted to talk about what Best Buy looks like. You know, not just our blue shirts, but what all that support organization around that, the corporate organization around Best Buy looks like. And so, probably not a surprise to most of you. This first bullet here, we are the largest consumer electronics specialty retailer in the U.S. We've got almost 1,000 stores. I think we checked yesterday, it was right around 950 stores in the U.S. Across all 50 states and Puerto Rico, and we've got over 100 stores in Canada. Our information security team is responsible for information security globally across all of our entities. So this is our Canadian environment, our U.S. environment. We actually have some facilities in China as well from a manufacturing, exclusive brands manufacturing perspective. Maybe something that you guys didn't know about Best Buy, or maybe you did, but it's certainly something newer for us, is the launch of Best Buy Health. So, you know, as Best Buy began to recover from like the 2010, 2011, 2012 timeframe, when I think everyone was convinced that Best Buy was going to die, and you know, really just disappear at that time. But you know, as we really turned the business around and began to grow again, and really began to be much more of a vibrant organization, we continue to look for more opportunities to grow that business and to diversify. And interestingly, we got into the health business and are still really getting into the health business. Initially focused primarily on seniors and what we call active aging. So we'll talk a little bit about that here in a bit. But we do service right now about 1 million seniors through Best Buy Health. We have two primary web properties, bestbuy.com and bestbuy.ca. You'd imagine those web properties over the course of the pandemic have really grown significantly in terms of the volume that we've been servicing through those web channels. Though our web channels have been a very important component of our business for many years. We've been showing significant growth in that space. I think prior to the pandemic, we were about 20% of revenue was through our digital channels. And I think we're pushing closer to like 40% through digital channels through the pandemic. Our annual revenue, about $47.5 billion. And our workforce, about 100,000 total employees strong. And almost 5,000 technologists across our employees and contractors. So a significant amount of work goes into maintaining and advancing the technology that supports all of Best Buy. On the left, you'll see the picture of the United States and where all of our locations are. So our corporate campus, Best Buy started in Minnesota. Our corporate campus is in Minnesota. Our Vancouver campus is our Canada campus, rather, in Vancouver. And then you can see we've got offices, our Seattle Tech Center, our Boston Tech Center, and we've also got a facility down in San Diego with our Best Buy Health group. Right now, from an information security perspective, our teams are primarily in Minnesota. We've got about 15 in the Vancouver area, about 5 in the San Diego area. We've got, I'd say, roughly 15 and growing of remote staff that are dispersed throughout the U.S. Being a purpose-driven organization is a really important thing for Best Buy. And we believe that our purpose really has never been more important or frankly more relevant. Our purpose is to enrich lives through technology. And if you think about what's happened through the pandemic and and how people have been much more dependent on technology, frankly, to live and do the things that they do in their daily life. The people were working and learning and communicating and interacting and really staying connected with others through technology, cooking and entertaining at their homes. And so, we really feel that this was our purpose prior to the pandemic, and we really felt like, gosh, this is really increasingly important and really never more relevant than through the pandemic. And as we see, and I'm sure all of you see, the continued leaning into digital experiences post-pandemic, we really feel great about our purpose. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Heather, and she'll walk us through a little bit of our history and values. Heather?
Hey, Brian, Best Buy has a great history. We started as an audio specialty store in 1966 and have now become one of the biggest consumer electronics retailers in the world. Today, more than 70% of Americans live within 15 minutes of Best Buy stores. We pride ourselves in working hard to enrich those lives of the consumers through technology, no matter how they come to us, whether they're shopping online or they're shopping in the store or we're coming into their home and providing service. So Best Buy focuses on solving technology problems, addressing key human needs. Human is going to be a big part of this conversation because it's such a big part of our company. All these areas that we support include entertainment, productivity, communication, food, security, and like Adam said, health. Employees are our passion, and we work hard to recognize employees, their own knowledge, their passion, their commitment. We do this for pay, benefits, and other rewards like our incredible employee discounts. Next slide.
You want to come over here?
So kind of what makes us tick. At Best Buy, our purpose is to reflect technology, what we can do. We understand that we must change if we want to succeed. We all work to identify with our rallying cry, which is let's talk about what's possible. Let's see what's out there. What can we do different? We are powered by our guiding behaviors of being human, putting people before all else. Make it real, bringing the extraordinary into the everyday. Think about tomorrow, account for what comes next. And we are rooted in our core values, which are so ingrained in our culture, it is just a part of who we are. Anybody could recite these. Unleash the power of our people, learn from talent and change, so respect, humility, and integrity, and have fun will be in the back. This is a fun slide. We're proud. We're proud of what we've accomplished and how far we've come, and we're excited about the opportunities that we have upcoming. These are just some examples of some of the places that we feel that we've shown up well. 2020 Best Places to Work for the LGBT equality, Forbes 2020 Best Employer for New Grads and Women, and a noteworthy company by diversity for 2020.
All right, I'm going to walk through our enterprise goals, and looks like this is a build slide, so I'm going to get this to build out here. So these are actually some goals that we had shared with our investment community. And these three primary goals, the first one, Heather talked a little bit about this one, but there's really nothing more important than our employees. And thus, really our first goal was to talk about our employees. We want to be one of the best companies to work for in the U.S. That is our goal, and that's what we're working towards. And so in support of that, we're working on increasing our employee engagement. We're working on enhancing leadership development opportunities. We're working very, very hard at promoting diversity and inclusion. Trency is going to talk about some of the work that we have going on in that space and really providing our employees with a greater level of training and recognition. Ultimately, we want to be on the Fortune 100's best companies to work for. So very important goal that we're working towards. Our second one, double significant customer relationship events, 50 million. So that's why, historically speaking, if you think about the business, was very transactional based. Most retailers were very transactional based, right? we want to become much more of a place where we have long-term relationships with our customers, and we pivot away from being a transaction by transaction driven organization to more of an organization that has long-term relationships with our customers. And so we'll be measuring how we're doing against that by a couple of different things. And you can see these here. We have a paid membership program. You may have seen we're launching a second one. We're tracking this based on the number of in-home consultations. So we have an in-home advisor program, how many people are engaging on our app, and how many senior lives that we're supporting. And then, of course, the third goal, this is a investor-facing enterprise goals, and so we of course need to continue to deliver continued top and bottom line growth and operating income over time. All right, we built this one out. All right, Terence, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Adam. So Best Buy has lots of different community initiatives that we're part of, and it's like Adam said, there's nothing more important than our customers. So we really do work hard to get out to the community and try to fit in a space where we can enhance a lot of the people in the community that represent our story. Some of the things we're doing, we've gotten rid of over 2 billion pounds of e-waste through our recycling program. We've significantly cut our carbon footprint in our offices. We've helped our customers save tens of millions of dollars in utility bills for some of the products that we offer. Between our employees and customers, we have given more than $20 million to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and we match 40% of any employee giving to a nonprofit. These are some of the ways that Best Buy is trying to help strengthen our communities. We'll go to the next slide. I am pretty close to some of these programs, so if I get a little bit giddy, that's just because I really do care about some of these programs. But the main initiative here is to create like a social impact with the community, building futures for some of our youth, for some of the younger generation, underserved communities, so that we can help them get access to education and training and being prepared for some of these tech-heavy careers that they're going to be facing. Next slide. So a couple of these programs, we've got 3 of them. We've got our Geek Squad Academy, which is kind of like a 1 or 2 day camp environment. The last one that we did was at the Viking Stadium.
It might just be local.
But it was really great. We had the event there. We're Cowboys fans. We had the event there, and it was really nice because I'm not into big sporting events, and I don't like going to football stadiums. But going to this event was just us. It was us volunteers and these kids. We had probably around 200 kids from local middle schools. We're teaching them various skills from programming, robotics, digital music, film production, and editing, circuits and logic, and digital photography. And these are like these workshop type learning environments that these kids get to experience for a day or 2 through a camp kind of format. Our Best Buy Teen Tech Centers are we've partnered with other stakeholders in the community to kind of help build a collaborative community-based approach to kind of work out some solutions to some complex problems in the community. In our career pathways, so career pathways is tied to Best Buy Teen Tech Centers. As we instill education and training and some of these kids, they can take that and use that as experience or just information they can put on a resume, and we move them into hard compositions or into more educational programming. Next slide, please.
I do think I need another screen.
With some of these programs, what we're trying to solve is essentially, Mary, you probably understand more than anyone the state of our youth and some of our communities and the lack of access to education and training. bridge that gap between the youth in our communities who represent the people that work for us, the people who shop at our stores, and we want to ultimately help, if we can, kids achieve a degree or some other credential with a real value in the current labor market, achieve employment with self-supporting wages, or even have opportunities for further education and career advancement. So as you can see in this slide here, there's a huge gap when it comes to youth and employment and technology. And right now we've got about almost 5 million disconnected youth. That's 4% of the overall population in the age of 16 to 24. And there's an employee shortage in technology fields where, we on a rolling basis need about 1 million people to fill roles. So what Best Buy is trying to do is bridge that gap and start with youth, because it's important to kind of invest that infrastructure in our kids and the ones who are going to be our future. And we think that every one of these teenagers deserves an opportunity, especially in the underserved communities. Next slide, please. So this is a slide that kind of shows some of the results of our Teen Tech Centers in partnership with our other Clubhouse stakeholders, our Clubhouse partners. But as you can see in this, the numbers are very impressive. We've got 80% increased commitment to continuing education. 71% of these kids are interested in studying STEM fields. More importantly, 96% of them feel like that we're providing a safe space for trusted adults they can come to and they feel accepted by these folks. And 52% attend almost every day, and 70% stay for at least 2 hours at a time. And just in closing, I've visited these tech centers. The most profound thing I've ever experienced. I was a kid that grew up in foster care, so it's kind of behind the curve at an early age. And I didn't have a lot of these resources, but visiting the center, you see these kids come in and how they're working with video editing software as if they were a professional. I watched this kid create a video with animated cartoons on top of music, and he is using hotkeys all over his keyboard. He's going so fast I can't keep up with him. I told him, hey man, there's people that will pay you $60,000 a year to do what you're doing at the level that you're doing at. So these tech centers, I think, are very, very powerful and very, very helpful in securing that future for some of our younger generation.
And I just wanted to add, Trancia. So I think we, in terms of scope and scale, if anybody's wondering, I think we got about 40 or 50 of these Teen Tech Centers open right now across the U.S. I think there's a couple in Canada as well. We're aiming by 2025 to have 100 of them, and our objective is to be serving 30,000 teens per year through our Teen Tech Center program. I'll take this one. So our inclusive culture. So inclusion and diversity have been very important topics at Best Buy that we've actively been working on to improve for a number of years. And we, without question, recognize the power of a diverse workforce. I remember our old CEO. I think he was probably the one that was really embraced this and pushed the company really in this direction. But he would always say, we've got to be doing well while we're doing good. And I feel really strongly that Best Buy has a great foundation for ethics and a healthy, inclusive culture. It is really important to us that we reflect our customer base and the population of the communities that we serve, and thus, in order to continue to drive
department's Inclusion and Diversity Steering Committee. And some of the things that we're working on this year is we want to create diverse interview panels. So we have a program for the Blue Check program, getting all of the members in my committee certified so that we can be, we'll have the training and the knowledge to be an interview panel in a very specific way. We're also looking at gender and POC representation throughout the organization under Adam, and what that looks like, and how do we create a more diverse space. My committee is aligning with leaders on slating hiring processes. So we're looking at end-to-end evaluation of the hiring practices within my department and some of the protocols that we use, and we're instilling the interview panel to supplement that hiring process. And we also look at gender and POC focus on talent acquisition and planning. So my group will be making recommendations to our executive sponsors this year on better ways to expand the diversity, or enhance the diversity in our candidate pool. And that looks, and that's done through expanding how we recruit talent. And those are some of the things that we're working on this year. I think that's it for me, Adam. You're up.
Yeah, thanks, Theo. And so we'll get a little bit into our information security team. Well, first and foremost, this slide looks kind of blank because I had on the bottom, I had originally created this slide. I had these two pictures, and they were screenshots of the majority of our team. It was one of the first large meetings that we had held, and we all went remote. And so it was a Zoom, I don't know, there was 90 different small windows of all these people in there, and it made me smile. I thought it gave you guys a good glimpse of our team, but in afterthought, I was like, as the CISO, and I probably shouldn't be putting pictures of our team up on the screen, so we decided to pull it. But just imagine that it was a kind of a screen of all of our team. But anyway, so we're about 120 strong in our information security team, and growing a lot. I think I mentioned in here that we're growing up about 15% year over year. That's been the historic growth rate that we've seen. And I don't think it's any surprise to any of you that the demands from an information security perspective continue to grow. I don't think there hasn't been a year yet like 2020 as it relates to the number of ransomware attacks that occurred, and just the escalation that we're all seeing across all industries from an information security perspective. So, like I said, we've got about 120 employees across the U.S. and Canada. I think I had mentioned we've got about 15 in Canada. There's about 5 in San Diego. We've got about 15 and growing, working in a variety of different remote locations across the U.S. And then the remainder are in our Twin Cities campus. We are, as any good information security program should be doing, evaluating new capabilities and needs. There's always new things that that we should be doing, and pivoting our organization and reinvesting in certain capabilities, and really, frankly, just keeping up with trying to get ahead of the variety of different threats that we'll be facing. The organization, we're responsible for security, information security all across Best Buy, our variety of different customer engagements, whether that be stores, call centers, our e-com channels, our in-home channels. So I mentioned we have, as you guys know, we've got P Squad, we've got a lot of people that are working in our customers' houses. Our team, ultimately, we are embracing our remote hybrid workforce. Many of the roles that we're sourcing right now are remote roles, and I think you all know this, is the talent gap that exists within information security is tremendous. And so, we want to do everything that we can to be an appealing employer, and get our and find the right folks, and continue to build on the strong team that we have. I wanted to just show you guys this screen here, because of one difference that not all information security teams are orged this way, but we're part of a broader we're part of a broader risk and legal organization, and so into our Chief Risk Officer and General Counsel. His name's Todd Hartman. So there must be some time around that slide. But anyway, so we don't actually report in through the technology organization, which, I mean, if you looked at information security orgs, it's probably about 70–75% of them would report into a CTO or a CIO role, but we report into our Chief Risk Officer and General Counsel, and I think that's a huge advantage to remove some of the challenge of segregation of duties between really a CIO and an information security function. So it's served us really well, and I think it's a great organizational structure. So I just wanted to share that. It's somewhat unique to Best Buy. So what we do as an information security organization, this top statement here is important, and it's one that I've shared with our audit committee and our board and our broad information security teams. And of course, we work to proactively prevent bad things from happening as a priority. But anyone who's not paying attention to our ability to detect, respond, or recover is it really in trouble? All security organizations need to be focusing on this detect, respond, recover in addition to the prevention. So, we double down, we do everything we can to prevent, but we're always prepared to detect, respond, and recover from any sort of information security incident or event. Our teams are structured fairly closely to the NIST cybersecurity framework. And so we've got a subset of that here, but the prevention, detection, and response aspects of it, we've got a team that operates our security architecture, our technical assessments. This is our penetration testing, ethical hacking capabilities, and our attack surface management team, which consists of our vulnerability management program and our responsible disclosure bug bounty programs. Trency is part of that attack surface management team. And then we've got our compliance and network security capabilities, which, as a retailer, we have to comply with the payment card industry's data security standards. And so these are standards, as many of you likely know, that all retailers that take payment card information are required through their merchant banks to establish certain controls to protect payment card information. We're also, as I mentioned, around our the growth of our health business and the instantiation of our health business, high trust. So high trust is actually an industry framework around health, really to draw or to create a baseline set of capabilities across health organizations. And so we're working to gain high trust certification for specific components of our health business. Our risk management team, really what they're doing is leveraging a variety of different frameworks, controls, risk assessments, and such to really to gauge where we're at from an information security perspective. And so they hold the kind of the process that we track deviations to our information security standards and our policy and risks, right? And then basically that team would establish the path for how we would expect deviations to be remediated by. Next is our security engineering and operations team. And this team is a team that runs all of the variety of tooling that we have across our enterprise, whether it be an endpoint tool that's running on a laptop, or it's a network-based security tool that exists in the environment, or something that's running on our servers or our cloud infrastructure. But these tools, broadly, there's a number of them, probably 20 different ones that this team operates, but really all across the gamut of prevention, detection, and response. Our security operations team is also responsible for working with our threat intelligence team. That threat intelligence team would provide our operations and engineering teams, and a specific component of that are content engineering teams with perspective on threats that we may face and things that we should be looking to ensure that we have the ability to detect. And so that content engineering team then takes that information, those tools, tactics, and procedures, and those indicators of compromise, and make sure that we have detective capabilities within our SIM and EDR tooling to basically identify those signatures of an attack, those indicators of an attack, and those TTPs of an attack. And then finally, our incident response capability, which provides all of our cyber incident response capabilities. And so when something does happen, there's an alert that gets fired off the SIM. There's an active phishing campaign that's ongoing against our organization. This team has a number of playbooks. It's a 24/7 capability that they would employ to contain and mitigate and really shut down any of those particular specific threats that we face. And so all of these teams, highly important, all tying together really across the identify, protect, respond, recover aspects of the NIST cybersecurity framework to ensure that our organization stays a safe and secure organization. Our priorities. So we got 5 of them. These are the priorities actually that my team maps all of our objectives and key results. If any of you use OKR frameworks, but we map all of our OKRs to this framework of priorities. And what you got here, so the first one, improve our security culture through outreach, awareness, and education or engagement. So this is really, I don't think there's anything much more important than making sure that the business leaders understand the importance of information security, and that it's not only the CISO and the security team that's driving information security work. I think that if and when an organization is able to drive to a point where security is such an integral component of everything that the business does, regardless of whether it's somebody in the security team or if it's somebody in the technology team or if it's somebody embedded in the business, when we reach the point where everybody feels accountable for this and everybody feels a shared responsibility, is really when I think things start to really work well. So we've got a very good security culture, straight up from our board to our CEO and down for our officers. This is always something that we always have to work on and work through. Not unique to Best Buy, but really anything that any security organization should be doubling down on. So that's a key thing that we are working as a priority. The second one is enabling the secure and compliant growth of Best Buy Health. As I had mentioned a little bit around high trust. High trust is something that we need to obtain in order to enable the business. And the way I think about information security, this word enablement is a really important word. I think security organizations should be seen as capabilities that are enabling the business to succeed and to keep the business safe. They shouldn't be viewed as organizations that are going to shut stuff down and say no to everything. That's not at all how I want our information security capability to be viewed. And thus, I really see us being as an integral component of our ability to grow a health business. If we can't get our high trust certification done, we'll get it done. But if we can't get that done, right, it's something that our partners expect of us, and so it's very important. Enhanced security assurance and proactive risk and compliance management. This is really just about staying in front of things. And I always laugh about this, but the way I think about this is be surprised less often. I always want to be surprised less often, and so these are doubling down on our proactive capabilities to ensure that we are surprised less often. point 4 here, achieve operational efficiency, team cohesion, enhance quality and consistency. A lot of this is about driving a greater level of consistency in everything that we do, and through that, trying to lean more into automation to drive some of this consistency. And then last but not least, be proactive and involved in the changing technology platform. And you know, I think we talked a little bit about the pandemic and some of the implications from a digital engagement perspective. You know, things are changing very fast right now. I think about where we thought we would be, you know, in 5 years from now as it relates to digital engagement, and we're there now. You know, our CEO, Corey Berry, I've heard her say a number of times. You know, it was a big moment when I saw my dad, you know, ordering his groceries online, and you know how that clicked, and it's like, gosh, if I can relate to the same to my parents, but you know, my parents are ordering groceries online now. Like, what else would they do from a digital engagement perspective? And so, you know, with that adoption, I just think there's a significant amount of change from a technology platform perspective. You know, we're also working towards, as most organizations are now, a cloud first approach, and we've got data centers as well that we're looking to leverage cloud technology more regularly. And so as an information security team, we've got to get in front of that. We've got to ensure that we've got the right information security controls in these various clouds. And again, we're enabling the business to consume these cloud workloads or consume these cloud capabilities in a safe and secure manner. So those are our priorities and things that we think about a lot. And Heather, I'll pass it off to you for our last slide here.
I get the honor of the really exciting slide. Careers at Best Buy. It's exciting. We have positions that are currently posted. You see it on the right-hand side of the slide. There's more coming every week, so keep checking. We just thought we put on here some important skills for cyber professionals to be infinitely curious. Change, agility, and adaptability. And that is key, I think, for everybody right now. Resiliency, deep level of learning, collaboration, and partnering mindset. We also included frontier contact information and mine. So if you have questions, if you're looking at things, feel free to reach out, and we'll help you get in contact with the right group. If we don't know the answer, we'll answer your question.
Yeah, and it's Mary, if you guys have like a community jobs board page or some other like social page, that we would love to use that to kind of present these opportunities.
Yeah, Adam and I have been talking about that, and we're going through the corporate stuff that one has to go through in order to for you guys to become a member. But once you become a member, I'll definitely give you access to post on the job board.
We'll get there. We're close.
That's what you tell me. You know what? Microsoft moved faster than you guys. I was very impressed by how fast they moved. Did we have any questions out there? I'm sorry, were you guys finished with your presentation?
Yeah, go ahead. We'd love to have questions.
Yeah, I got an email today. I don't know if the person's online in regards to possible internship opportunities, or, I mean, I know this is now the summer, but do you guys have an internship program?
Yeah, Heather, do you want to talk about it? I can talk about it too, doesn't matter to me.
Either way.
Yeah, we do have internship programs. I think this year we have 2 different programs. There's a formal internship program, and that generally we look to hire people into that internship program that will be going into their senior years. And then we have a program called the Summer Associate Program. It's very similar to the internship program. And we look to hire anybody at any level or level of experience into those roles. In terms of duration, I want to say it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like some mid-May, early June into late August, I believe, somewhere around there.
Yep. we work with the people when they have school, if they have to get back to, or those are the general days.
Yeah, and on our team right now, I think we got 2 or 3 interns that started with us actually 2 weeks ago, something like that. And a couple of summer associates as well. Generally, from an internship perspective, I believe we look to open and hire those positions. Is it like fall, winter time frame for the upcoming summer, honestly, Heather?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That would be correct.
Oh, that's cool. And Adam has already tried. Adam has already tried to steal my interns. So, I do have a question. Yeah, I see it. I see it. No, you're fine.
I just have a question on the internship. Like, you guys mentioned that you have the summer associate and the regular internships. Are they only kept close the summer, or are they also in the spring or in the fall?
Good question. Traditionally, they are summer programs. We have had interns in different times of the year. In fact, I know we had an intern over the winter on one of our teams. I think she's rolling off at some point here soon. But yeah, she was with us over the winter. So we do a little bit of both, but most of them are traditional summer internships.
I would think that the internship and the summer associate program we have runs in the summer. We do have those situations where we have people at different times. It just isn't the program where they might have different learning, get together as a group.
Okay. We have a question in the chat box here. It says, what are some of your unspoken rules that employees love about working for Best Buy in general and in cyber in particular?
That's a solid question. It's a really good one. I was trying to think of one, but without revealing too much, one of the unspoken rules that I really like is, you go to work for a company and say, hey, what are my hours? When am I going to be working? You don't want me working from 7 to 6 every day, or what's going on. For most of the job positions at Best Buy, you work on a team. There's additional hours where everybody can kind of work together and be with each other. But there is this unspoken flexibility in how you work, and it goes back to catering to each individual team, right? Some folks are not morning people, like myself, right? So you don't want me in a meeting at 9 o'clock because it's just, things can be said that can't be taken back, and But generally, there's this flexibility of, performing your work, getting your work done in a way that suits you. I like to work later in the evenings when everybody else is done, so no one's messaging me, no one's emailing me, and I can focus on stuff I need to get done. I think that's one of the biggest kind of unspoken rules that makes working for Best Buy really great. And I think that's flexible throughout the company that way. We just don't, it's not something that's advertised, we'll talk about it. A lot of companies do advertise it, but it makes work a lot more productive, a lot more efficient.
Okay, that's great. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to add that I think we really leaned into that more so, even with the pandemic, and I think that's changed everything, which I know will leave us with a significantly more flexible workforce, which is great.
That's great. So, and this is one of the questions that I ask, and I tell all of the folks that belong to our community to ask employers in regards to career growth, and how do you support the employee as they're trying to grow their career in cybersecurity? Do you offer training? Do you offer certification, payments? What do you do in order? Is there a curriculum that certain that employees are able to follow from, to get the right promotion, get right in the right place to be promoted and things like that?
I can take it, and I can have Heather and Trenzio add in as they please. So I would say that at the team level, at the individual team levels, we would encourage folks to work with their leader to determine what the best path of career development is for them, and whether that's to pursue certifications, or if it's to pursue various different SAMS trainings or other trainings, or attending conferences or things like that. They generally work that through with their manager. We do some training that we would bring and have various teams try to share others with other folks on the team to kind of bring them up to speed with different capabilities. I would say a lot of it too is we're highly supportive of what the employee wants to do from a growth perspective.
Anything to add to Rico?
I think you landed that well, Adam. You're right. Development is seen as employee-driven and leader-supported. So there are intense and specific and regular conversations around what the employee is looking for, what they want to do, and try to get them there.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, just to give my experience. There are a lot of tools that are utilized. I have a one-on-one with my leader every week, and we talk about advancement and development type things. I think also, we allow for quarterly conversations with your leader that allows you to kind of highlight your biggest wins and your achievements throughout the last 3 months, and that builds over a year's time. From my experience coming into Best Buy, when it comes to career opportunity and growth, when I came into the industry, I was still in school, I was a student worker with the state, and they said, yes, we trust you to do incident response. And I go, okay, I hope this doesn't turn out bad. But I got in, and the support there was astounding. Lots of great teammates that helped me, that I learned from. But Best Buy also does, I think those missed years, for most of the teams in our security space, where a leader either has a budget or individuals on a team has a certain allotment of money that they can use on an annual basis to pursue training. So I achieved my CYSA plus certificate that way. I, studied program system test, passed the test, and as long as you pass, that's why we'll reimburse you. And that's, there's not a lot of red tape with that. It's like, hey, I passed the test, here's my billio, and just a few clicks away, and Best Buy's like, we really want to support that. And there is recognition that we have a field individuals to achieve those things. So I would say when it comes to career growth, Best Buy is one of the most supportive.
That's great. And I know we're at time. For those that are watching it live, I heard I had some issues on the live stream. This was recorded. I will post it to the Minorities in Cybersecurity site. I will not pull down the live stream. I will go with the errors and bloopers because I'm not perfect, and I told you guys that from the very beginning. I want to thank Best Buy for coming and sharing about their company, their experience, their cybersecurity team. I'm so happy to hear it's not under the CIO. I'm sorry I said it. I think that is a wonderful place for it to be outside of the technology office. Anyone, if you have questions, please reach out to me. Hopefully we answered as many questions that you have. If you have follow-up questions, I know Best Buy gave you some contact information. Connect with them on LinkedIn, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you all. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.